The other day, there was some information uploaded by this user on Twitter named the Fuzzy Viking. As you can see, his ad is the Fuzzy Viking 2. If you get a chance, please give him a follow. It does pertain to the Mark Waid case against Richard C. Meyer, aka your boy Zach. And it essentially lays out the fact that Mark Waid knew exactly who Antarctic Press was, where they were, and why he would know that, which I think is pretty good. So we're going to go read through this real quick. I'm going to zoom in so we can see it. So, statement on the lawsuit of Richard Meyer versus Mark Waid. Of note, I worked with Antarctic Press in some years back. As I was in San Antonio at the time, I was able to observe how their office was set up and organized. I also maintain a few contacts that work with them even now. I have been following the case of Meyer versus Waid with some interest. Up to listening in to Ricada Law's live streams covering the depositions recently. One thing that occurred to me about something was briefly mentioned in the depositions. Joey, that Ben and Joe Dunn testified about being a close friend, almost a member of the family that they were going to lose over this, is Jochen Whitejens. I guess that's how you say it. I'm just going to call him Joe from now on because I can't pronounce all that. What hasn't been aired or isn't being presented in the deposition is this. Joe has done Jochen, I'm going to call him Jochen so you don't get confused with Joe Dunn. Okay. Jochen has done a lot of work for Marvel and with Waid over the years as Guru EFX, even when he was a managing editor for AP, and during the period of time in which AP was contracted and considering publishing Jawbreakers. Joey, or Guru EFX, was instrumental in persuading the Dunns to discontinue Jawbreakers while head of a group of colorists / letterists / inkers, and finishing doing subcontract work directly from Marvel Comics. This group and Guru EFX specifically is an in-house coloring and lettering inking studio that works out of AP's offices. From my understanding at the time, AP gives them workspace and they take freelance contract work to make a living, with AP getting their services for in-house projects for near to nothing in exchange for their workspace. What is safe to say is this group does a lot of freelance work for Marvel and is finishing their books, whether it be inking, coloring, or lettering. They rely heavily on the freelance business to eat and pay bills. Ben Dunn is currently the managing editor, as Whitejens has quit Antarctic Press to work on his Marvel contracts exclusively shortly after Jawbreakers was dropped by AP. According to my sources, this happened as a result of the decision to drop Jawbreakers. I don't know why you put "your" there. It is also said that Ben Dunn is fairly conservative and very pissed about the pressure to drop Jawbreakers, and was also indicated in the depositions. In summary, Guru EFX is actually Joey / Jochen Wetchland, who has been linked to and is listed online as an employee of Marvel Comics. Links here. And we'll just zoom in on this, and he's providing information. Comic Book DB, Comic Vine, and Marvel Fan Wiki. Take note of the employer section of the page. In reviewing the records statement by the Dunns about how they feared for the career of friends that, quote, worked for Marvel, and the internal emails with Whitejens, it seems very likely that Waid or someone connected to him was leaning very heavily on Whitejens, or the mere fact that Waid was connected to the attempt on social media to blacklist Jawbreakers was enough to scare Whitejens to push for AP to cancel the contract. To me, it indicates also that Waid was lying out of his ass on the stand that he didn't know AP was in Texas and had no previous knowledge of the business and, when they were influenced. This connection should be of interest to the case at the very least. And like I said, he wasn't on the stand, but yeah, the depositions are under oath. So very, very, very good point. That said, here are some likely possibilities that can be looked into as part of that. Did Waid have a channel / communication with Joey directly, and did he threaten the continuance of freelance work for Guru EFX if AP continued associations with Jawbreakers to either Joey or the Dunn brothers? Was Waid, as seems likely, aware of the location of Guru EFX and Antarctic Press based on the sheer amount of work they do for Marvel? If so, it seems very unlikely that Waid was unaware that AP was located in Texas and more likely lied under oath. Getting him deposed is likely a good idea, though he will almost certainly be hostile to Meyer's side of the case. Check what his employment status is at Marvel, when it precisely started, and who he works with / vouch for him. Have further questions directed to the Dunns as to what sort of work / connections White Gens had with Marvel while directly employed at AP, and what the circumstances were of him leaving, i.e. was a response to a direct job offer with Marvel, and relative links. And then he supplies a screenshot here that I will zoom in on here. This link is about Brian Denham, who was part of AP. Notice this was a project for Marvel that 2 people from AP worked on, Brian and Joey in Guru FX. As you can see, Mark Waid worked on this project. So did Guru FX, etc., etc. Now, what does this tell us? Well, I say it shows a very, very high likelihood that Mark Waid did lie on this deposition and that he knew exactly where AP was located. Because, as you can see, Guru EFX has done work for Marvel in the past, and now he has a job with them. Makes it sound like there could be some quid pro quo going on. You help me do this, I'll help you get here, etc., 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 etc. Now, is it likely? Yes. Do I have ultimately proof about it? No. But this is some good insight into the matter, I believe. I think it should be looked into, because at the very least, Joey needs to be deposed, and he needs to be asked questions and put him under oath and find out what exactly is happening. Because I just don't believe that in my heart of hearts, and just from the logic of it, that Mark Waid had no idea where Antarctic Press was located. That would show a lie under oath. But even if he didn't know, it doesn't matter. It's when he did the information. It's when he actually defamed Meyer and when he actually interfered with the contract, right? And like has been explained before, it doesn't matter, right? It does not matter if they say he was responsible for the contract getting canceled or not. It's the fact that he was a third party that did directly interfere with the possibility of that contract. That's it. That's the long short of it. Mark Waid's a scumbag. Mark Waid is trying to hang himself on the cross to get sympathy right now. Look at what they said. It doesn't matter what they said. It's what happened. What did you do? What have you admitted to? Right? You've already admitted you contacted them. So that right there is interference. That's it. It's done. And this just shows that there might have been some more dirty dealings going on in the background. So yeah, like I said, get a chance, go to the Fuzzy Viking 2, and he has all the links and information and whatnot on his uploaded here. You can see right here. It was on April 27th, so it was a few days ago. I've been meaning to make a video about it earlier, but I just got caught up doing other things. So yeah, that's it for that. If you get a chance, please like, comment, and subscribe. And, we will check you out on the live streams if you want to show up and say hi. And, yeah, this will be a fun time. Y'all have a good one, guys. We'll talk to you later.